What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official. Make sure you subscribe while you're there. Of course, you can also hit us up on our Fast channel over at Rad TV, TV streaming platforms around the globe, just like Jinx Esports TV, ESTV, Amazon Prime, Roku TV, the list goes on and on. We also have you covered on the audio side, thanks to our friends at Fired Up Network. We're across 212 platforms over there. Scott, today's a hot show, my friend. What are we talking about on a Friday?
Oh, we're talking about the hot news. GTA 6 trailer has a release date as of about an hour ago. And Game Pass is coming to PlayStation and Nintendo one day, maybe? Probably not, but we'll get to that. SENUA'S SAGA Hellblade 2 has been rated in Australia. And Resident Evil 4 Remake gets a VR mode.
Wow. Dude, GTA 6 trailer drop. That's going to be some big news, some big discussions, obviously. But we're heading into the weekend. So what are you playing this weekend?
Oh, I think I'm just stuck in Halo Infinite and Call of Duty. It's like, I keep saying, it's like it's 2010 all over again. I'm really enjoying my time.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm waiting for something new. Actually, I'm kind of holding out for a review game that I'm hoping we see today, which will probably take my weekend away. I am working on the review of the PlayStation Portal, so that'll keep me busy as well. I got a couple things I'm working on over there. For me, though, dude, I'm back into Dishonored 1.
I keep seeing that. Yeah, you got to catch up to me on the achievements of that one.
I'm not worried about the achievements. After getting 100% on Mirage, I don't care about achievements anymore. That was so underwhelming. I just kind of left me wanting a lot more.
The no-kill run, though. No-kill run in Dishonored, I have to recommend it.
I don't know how you did that. I'm going around, I'm slicing up everybody. I'm like, you're dead. You're dead. I'm going death from above. That is one of the coolest animations. I love doing the death from above. It is fantastic. And then I'm sneaking up. I'm knocking out a bunch of people, too, because I know it plays to the world on how many people you kill. So I'm trying to be a little bit mindful. But, yeah. I just kidnapped Sokolov, if you remember him back in the day. But, yeah,
excellent.
It's so good. What? So good? It's GTA 6. Let's talk about it. Well, Scott, it's December 1st. Happy Friday. And with it comes some exciting, very exciting news. Rockstar goes to Twitter to say, heads up, here we go. GTA 6 trailer coming out next Tuesday. That's right, December 5th, 9 a.m. We will be all over this, just like the rest of the planet, Scott. Here we go, dude. They put up a graphic. You can see it right now on screen. Doesn't it look heavily inspired by Grand Theft Auto Vice City? Dude, it has the colors. It has the theme. We are going back. What do you think?
Oh, I'm excited. I think this is the right first kind of messaging. We're leaning into Vice City, that kind of style, that kind of scenario, and I like that a lot better than the San Andreas Los Santos that we've been dealing with for so many years now. Yeah. Although that is, as far as I understand, that is to be part of the map, but
yeah, just a portion of it, right? That's the thing. It's going to take over. The other side of it is, dude, it's not at the Game Awards.
Yeah, I think that was very calculated. I don't think that was an accident.
No, 2 days before the Game Awards. Interesting approach, isn't it? Like, here we go. You're going to get in, you're going to watch this, maybe kind of settle down a little bit before we get to the Game Awards to see what Jeff and the team over there has to show us. I wonder how Jeff feels about this dropping 2 days before his very big show, the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's two different sides to it. On one hand, well, it's kind of relieving because now the security issue isn't as big of a security issue. At least as far as I know, we still don't have Bloodborne 2, but
yeah.
And then, but on the other hand, that would have been a great get, of course, for the Game Awards.
Yeah, it would have been great.
The Game Awards is starting to blur the lines between the Game Awards and E3, and I'm not sure that I like the combination of those two.
I think E3 is dead. Right, like we're seeing ReedPop sell off. ReedPop was one of the supporters and the big helping hands of E3 in the ESA, and now they're like, no, we're gone. And that was last year. They said they're no longer going to be with E3. And then from there, now, like we heard officially yesterday, that they're actually selling off major outlets and they're going away. So that's kind of what happens next for ReedPop? What does their demise look like, unfortunately? And what happens to the future of all those other outlets too, right? Because somebody comes in, not necessarily are they going to stick with them or keep them, but they're going to say goodbye to a lot of them, I'm sure. But getting back into with the Game Awards, part of it has to be a sigh of relief for Jeff, right? It got to be, okay, good. Now we don't have to worry about, are you bringing GTA to the Game Awards, or are you, the security issues are a huge concern, right? Jeff said he's already stepped up the security this year for the Game Awards, so that is exciting. Kind of just make sure things stay under wraps, get all those people the heck off the stage that don't belong there.
Yeah, I would like to one day walk that stage without without being a fugitive on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you understand or appreciate your time on that, in that scenario, and around all those people, and it's just so incredibly disrespectful. It still bothers me now. It was funny for about a minute.
Yeah, it's just disheartening to see people go that far, right? For something we all love. That's the worst part about it, right? We were all looking for, when's GTA 6 coming? When's GTA 6? Do we see an actual release date, Scott, on the 5th, or is it just a quick snippet, maybe a minute and a half long of GTA 6?
I think it's well, I think it better off include a few minutes of some, maybe not gameplay, but just a little bit of a teaser, set up the story, give me something to look at. But I think we have to see a date. If we don't see a date, we're riling up the whole fan base, a big percentage of the planet, and then not delivering on any information. No, we need something like that. We need the release date.
I don't think we see it. I think we
think
get
see a window.
No, I don't think we see anything about a date whatsoever. I think they just show us a little bit of the gameplay. Maybe because it's going to be so big, right? They can easily show off a 10-minute chunk, but they're not going to. I think we might be lucky to get 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Everybody's going to scour all over this thing, try to dissect, break it down, do as much digging as they can, see what resources they can pull from it. And then from there, we probably wait until next year to see anything else after this, right? We're going to be probably February, March, before we see anything else on GTA 6. And then they start ramping up for a holiday launch. I think that's where we're going to see the launch. That's what we've heard rumors about, but I don't think we actually get a confirmed release date. I could be completely wrong. Obviously, I don't know, right? I'm speculating just like everybody else will be today, as we just got this breaking news before we went to record the show. But it is exciting to finally get something, dude, after so many years. GTA 6, we knew it was alive. We just didn't know how or when we'd see anything from it, right? So now that we're actually going to get something, the cat's out of the bag. We already know we're getting a brother-sister relationship. This dynamic between the two that split in different directions. What does that direction look like? How big is the map? Do we see the size of the map at all?
Oh, that would be a very good tease to let us know. Maybe the camera just goes straight vertical and climbs up into the atmosphere, and we get to see the ginormous map.
Well, that's just it. We've already heard how big this map is. Maybe they could give us a sneak peek of the map. How big does this thing actually look? If they do it in Rockstar fashion, dude, they could play like the tongue-in-cheek move off of it, right? And then just kind of highlight it, make a joke about it, and then get us into the game and this, that, and the other. Very exciting. I'm very, very excited. Let us know in the comments. Hit us up over on Twitter. The official ITG, December 5th, 9 a.m. How excited are you? GTA 6 is almost here. Almost here to see something. Scott, I almost fell over laughing at this one. Xbox exec says Microsoft wants to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo. I'm sure you do. Reality check, though? That's not going to happen. Tom Ivan over at VGC. Xbox chief financial officer has said the company eventually wants to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo consoles. I'm sorry, man. I just... No. Nintendo? Possibility, which I think is a lot more likely. PlayStation? Never. Just never. Tim Stewart told attendees at the Wells Fargo TMT Summit that the company's ultimate goal is to bring all of the content and services to every screen that can play a game. This mission is designed to reap high profits from Microsoft's gaming division That has traditionally been the case with its relatively low margin console business, the exec said. And it was one of the motivating factors behind the company's $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty creator Activision Blizzard, which it completed last month. Quote, for us, we think, when we think about the business, gaming, as it relates to Microsoft and with Activision, operating leverage and margin expansion is definitely a piece of that puzzle, end quote, Stewart said. Quote, at the highest level, you go from what was a lower margin third-party entity that we sold on our store to a high margin first-party business. So when you think about it, the Xbox component of Call of Duty, you go from the low margin business to the high margin business. Then what do? Is you also expand and say, we're now driving high margin sales on PlayStation and Nintendo. Quote, dude. I'm just like, in what reality, Scott, do you think that would ever go to PlayStation with Game Pass?
It's not by name, not quite like that. I can't foresee that happening, but it's interesting. You're seeing some of the strategization. Well, if we do change our strategy, we can sell these Call of Duty games under PlayStation and still make money off of it. So that I can see that idea kind of being evolved into the future and how they're going to change their overall strategy. But there's a huge amount of conversation happening right now on Twitter, X, everywhere about, is this Xbox admitting defeat in the console war? Is this them becoming a third-party publisher? And I think everybody's working with different definitions, so it's a little hard to address exactly, but I don't think they're going to quit the console race anytime soon. That's my opinion.
No, not at all. What they're doing, though, is they're gaining the leverage over PlayStation when it comes to the services, right? I think that's where they're leading the charge. I don't think PlayStation is there. PlayStation Plus, I think, is an absolute mess. I hate PlayStation Plus. Dude, I went into PlayStation Plus. Let me tell you a story from the other day. Dude, so I had
I haven't heard this one.
The bare minimum, right? So I have PlayStation Plus. I can play online. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm going to go play? I finished Final Fantasy 16. I'm going to go play Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I jump in. I'm like, it's on Plus. I'm going to go grab it. I had it before. I'm going to go get it again, right? I go in there. You don't have the proper tier to play PlayStation Plus. I went, what? So now I'm going, what tier do I need to play this? And it was the next one up. It was extra. And then there's premium. I'm like, man, I hate it. I absolutely despise PlayStation Plus. I think it's a jumbled mess. And it's very confusing. Half the time, I don't even know if I have the right service, if I even have the service, right? So for me, Ultimate is just there for me on Game Pass. And it's funny because at the end of the day, Ultimate's really not that different than PlayStation Plus. I guess it's really what I'm more familiar with, right? So when it comes over to PlayStation, dude, I just had it. I was always there. I always had PlayStation Plus. And then they changed it to the model. And this new model is just, I find it very confusing as to what you get at the bare bones, in the middle, and then at the very top, obviously you get everything. So at the very top, with premium, is you get the streaming capabilities, right? The streaming service. Well, I wanted to play Final Fantasy 7 Remake because never played Final Fantasy 7, and I want to get ready for Rebirth when that comes out in February. So I'm here going, I had the PlayStation Portal. I'm going to play at night, in bed, on the PlayStation Portal, connected to my PlayStation. Couldn't do it. I was like, nah. All right, fine. So I figured out which way to go, but it's just like, that's their service. On day one, you don't get a Spider-Man,
No, they don't do any day and date release, do they?
Nothing, right? That's Xbox's model, and it works and it sells. Starfield sold, right? Starfield sold that service. And PlayStation's like, that's just not our business model. We want to sell you the game first. And then in 6 months to a year later, we'll give you the game on Plus, but at this certain tier.
It sounds like the match made in heaven would be the two of them working together in a way that one provides the service and the other provides the hardware, the ecosystem. But no, it's never going to work that way. They do kind of work off of each other, but never with each other.
Yeah, exactly. There's competition. I think competition is good. At the end of the day, competition is great. For who? For consumers, for us, for the gamers, right? It bodes well for us to have this competition back and forth because that's where we get the better deals. Now let's talk about Nintendo. Nintendo has like, if you think PlayStation Plus is a mess, or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it can be a little, what's the word I'm looking for, Scott? I guess nerve-wracking which way to go, right? Nintendo is an absolute disaster. Their online service sucks. It is garbage, and I hate it. It's even worse than PlayStation's. I think PlayStation's, at least you can get into and whatever. They have something to offer. I think Nintendo's service is just horrible.
Oh, at least I could send you a message on PlayStation, or I could invite you to a game, or a party chat of some sort, or anything that resembles the modern era.
So who would benefit the most from getting Game Pass? I think would be Nintendo. I think then they have another audience that they could cater to, bring in a different audience as well, an audience that they probably don't really have, right? When you compare that to what Xbox has to date. So when they did the Activision Blizzard deal, they stated, we're going to put this everywhere. It's coming to Nintendo. We're like, how?
Yeah, that's not seemingly technically possible.
This is how. This is how they get Call of Duty over on Nintendo. Switch 2 launches, comes with Game Pass. Now you have Call of Duty.
I think that's the future. I think that's the right move. And if you were Nintendo, I think that'd be an interesting move to consider as well.
And that puts them a leg up over PlayStation, right? They're already killing it when it comes to like Super Mario Wonder, WarioWare Move It, but they're each to their own. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Very charming.
It was they have their first party stacked, right? So when it comes to Nintendo, you get the Nintendo charm, and then it's for like, well, what else can we play? So when they have that lull for Nintendo first party love, dude, they have Game Pass, and people can play games on Game Pass because their online service over Nintendo is just horrible. So,
well, there was either a mega leaker or I foresaw the future at one point, because I think you saw that image as well, the Nintendo Switch, but it had the Game Pass logo loading up.
Yeah.
And that might have been a very easy Photoshop. I'm sure I could do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
If that does mean the future, then I'm pretty excited. I want to see Nintendo and Xbox work together.
It would be cool to see, right? Like, again, they cater to different audiences, so that might help grow over on the Nintendo platform. Dude, there's opportunity
to get Master Chief in the next Smash Brothers.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this actually happens. Yeah, of course they want it to happen, but PlayStation never plays well with Xbox. But I think Xbox stands a chance doing it on Nintendo's service. Switch 2, Game Pass. I'm calling it now. Scott, it's definitely been a hot minute since we talked about SENUA'S Saga Hellblade 2. It's been a while, man. But it's received an R rating, R 18+ rating in Australia. Now, granted, Australia is hard up when it comes to anything video game related. Some games you can't even play in Australia, but keep that in the back of your mind. Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. SENUA'S Saga Hellblade 2 has received an R 18+ rating by the Australian Classification Board. Although the rating does not specify what type of content the rating has been given for, it's likely that the rating has been given for an upcoming trailer. The new rating coincides with the Game Awards event that's set to take place on December 7th, 2023, which I will be there. If you see me, definitely come by, say hi. And it has confirmed to have a presence from Xbox. That's the other side of it right there, Scott. It's going to be at the Game Awards. Why? Because they want to tell you what the actual release date is. I think we see the release date finally for SENUA'S Saga Hellblade 2.
That does make a lot of sense. If this is indeed a rating to stick at the end of a trailer, well, then you're going to have to get that done ahead of time. And we're in the right window to see all that sort of maneuvers.
Absolutely. SENUA'S Saga Hellblade 2 was first announced during the Game Awards in 2019. So a new trailer with a reveal date could be fitting this time round. Hellblade, Senua Sacrifice, the first game, all received MA 15+ ratings by the Australian board, suggesting the sequel is going to be more violent. There's a lot of play off of the audio alone. Like when you want to hear audio, you need to play this game and have headphones on. This is the way to experience this game, because there's all that sound maneuvering around you with the echoes of her voice, and there's a lot of mind-bending audio cues that you don't normally see almost in any game, Scott. Like I've never played it. Here's the thing. I never played the game, but I've heard so much about the game that they just keep talking about the audio. Every time that game comes up, it's, have you heard the audio? Have you listened to the audio about it? Man, so it's incredible. If you haven't had a chance, check it out. It's on Xbox. You can definitely get that there. Get into it and experience probably one of the coolest audio games. I almost kind of like audio visual games, but it's got its cues, right? And it kicks up really high. It's cool.
It's very heavy from what I understand. Everything I've heard about it is very emotionally strong and a big emphasis on mental health, which explains the MA15 rating. So if that's being dialed up again, even more, perhaps there's some content warnings that will come at the beginning of this game too.
Maybe. Yeah, that's it. It's apparently scheduled to release in 2024. So the fact that we're gonna see something at the Game Awards will probably bring us that release date for next year. It's been, I feel like it's been forever since we've heard anything lately on it, but it's also been forever since the original games come out. So this was announced in 2019. It's now 4 years later, right? Almost 4 years later by the time we get this. So it's one of those, man, it's been a while. We'll see what happens, but yeah, counting on it. I'm betting right now. Release date for SENUA'S SAGA, Hellblade 2. Scott, Resident Evil 4 Remake's VR mode has been given a December release date. Chris Scullion over at VGC. The new mode, which will be released exclusively for the PlayStation VR 2, will be available on December 8th. There you go. The mode will be available as a free DLC update for the game, and a demo version will also be released on the same day. Dude, I am out. Do not expect any content from me when it comes to that VR mode.
Oh man, Resident Evil in VR sounds absolutely terrifying and exactly what I want, which means I would gladly borrow your PlayStation.
You're more than welcome to use it. That's one of those things. VR and horror modes just they just go together. That whole genre is like built off of VR. It's nuts.
Chocolate and peanut butter.
That's fair enough. Scott, Friday's ending off a pretty good week with some cool games coming out today, man. What are we playing?
That's right. We have SteamWorld Build on PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, and the Switch. And we actually took a look at that game ourselves. Check out the channel for our thoughts on that one. I don't want to give away too much, but Kingdoms and Castles is coming to PC, Xbox One, XS, the PlayStation, and Nintendo is coming in 2024. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince is on Nintendo Switch. And Racing the Gods Beyond Horizons is on PC. Lastly, Batman Arkham Trilogy has made its way to the Switch.
This place is dangerous. I like it. Gotham would be ours.
Not bad. I actually heard it's pretty good over on the Switch. Might actually surprise you. And that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. We'll be back again next week. And stick around for today. We got something dropping. Pretty big news dropping today. Until then, I'm Drew. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.